Birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, whatever the occasion, it just got a little more personal with meaningful photo gifts from Shutterfly. Add a silly photo to a gold-rimmed mug for your bestie. Put your sweet puppy on a cozy fleece blanket for your teen. Gift your husband a desktop plaque featuring all the kids. Enjoy 40% off orders over $29 with code POD40 at Shutterfly.com and make something that means something.
This episode is brought to you by Atlassian. Atlassian makes the team collaboration software that powers enterprise businesses around the world, including over 80% of the Fortune 500. With Atlassian's AI-powered software like Jira, Confluence, and Loom, you'll have more time to do the work that matters. In fact, Atlassian customers experience a 25% reduction in project duration per year. Unleash the potential of your team at Atlassian.com. Atlassian.
This is Optimal Living Daily. Relax for the same result. And Small Actions Change Your Self-Identity. Both by Derek Sivers of Sivers, that's Sive.rs. And I'm Justin Malik. Welcome to Optimal Living Daily, OLD or Old, the show where I read to you from articles that I think are amazing with permission from the authors. 2 posts today, both from Derek Sivers. So with that, let's get right to the first post as we optimize your life. Relax for the same result by Derek Sivers of Sivers, Sive.rs. A few years ago, I lived in Santa Monica, California, right on the beach. There's a great bike path that goes along the ocean for 7.5 miles, so 15 miles round trip. On weekday afternoons, it's almost empty. It's perfect for going full speed. So a few times a week, I'd get on my bike and go as fast as I could for the 15-mile loop. I mean, really full on, 100% head down, red-faced sprinting. I'd finish exhausted and look at the time. 43 minutes. Every time. Maybe a minute more on a really windy day, but basically always 43 minutes. After a few months, I noticed I was getting less enthusiastic about this bike ride. I think I'd mentally linked it with being completely exhausted. So one day, I decided I'd do the same ride, but just chill. Take it easy, nice and slow. Okay, not super slow, but dialing it back to about 50% of my usual effort. And what a nice ride. I was relaxed and smiling and looking around. I was barely giving it any effort. I saw 2 dolphins in the water. A pelican flew right over me in Marina del Rey. When I looked up to say, wow, he shit in my mouth. I could still remember that taste of digested shellfish. I had to laugh at the novelty of it. I'm usually so driven, always doing everything as intensely as I can. It was nice to take it easy for once. I felt I could do this forever without any exhaustion. When I finished, I looked at the time. 45 minutes. Wait, what? How could that be? Yep, I double-checked. 45 minutes as compared to my usual 43. So apparently all of that exhausting, red-faced, full-on push I had been doing had given me only a 4% boost. I could just take it easy and get 96% of the results. And what a difference in experience to go the same distance in about the same time. But one way leaves me exhausted and the other way rejuvenated. I think of this often. When I notice that I'm all stressed out about something or driving myself to exhaustion, I remember that bike ride and try dialing back my effort by 50%. It's been amazing how often everything gets done just as well and just as fast in what feels like half the effort, which then makes me realize that half of my effort wasn't effort at all, but just unnecessary stress that made me feel like I was doing my best. Small Actions Change Your Self-Identity by Derek Sivers of Sivers, Sive.rs. When we think about what's worth doing, we usually think of big things. When you hear the stories of how people got successful, they usually start with one little action. Saying yes when someone asks for volunteers, approaching a celebrity, reading one book, or taking one course. That one little action changes how you think about yourself. Having taken that one step, you start to think of yourself as brave or an achiever or a bit of an expert on a subject. You do just one thing that makes you feel generous, so you start to act generous, so you become generous. You do just one thing that makes you feel like a leader, so you start to act like a leader, so you become a leader. The world treats you as you treat yourself. Your actions show the world who you are. You won't act differently until you think of yourself differently. So start by taking one small action that will change your self-identity. You just listened to the post titled, Relax for the Same Result, and Small Actions Change Your Self-Identity, both by Derek Sivers of Sivers, that's SIVE.rs.
Build a routine with Ollie that supports your wellness needs, like getting your daily vitamins and minerals with Ollie's multi-gummies, or keeping your mood upbeat with all the vitamin D in Hello Happy. Give your gut health some support with probiotics, and wake up feeling refreshed after taking Ollie Sleep. Do wellness on your terms. Find Ollie at a Walmart or Target near you or at ollie.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon. Sometimes the most painful part of getting sick is the getting better part. Waiting on hold for an appointment, sitting in crowded waiting rooms, standing in line at the pharmacy, that's painful. Amazon One Medical and Amazon Pharmacy remove those painful parts of getting better with things like 24/7 virtual visits and prescriptions delivered to your door. Thanks to Amazon Pharmacy and Amazon One Medical, healthcare just got less painful.
Thank you to Derek. If you've been listening for a very long time, you might remember that I've narrated these articles before. I do that sometimes because a bunch of these articles are amazing, but I haven't read them in so many years, I've forgotten all about them. Although the one about bike riding in Santa Monica, I actually did recall. I think it's just that good of an article. It's a perfect metaphor for how we tend to live our lives. We're often trying too hard with everything and getting in our own way. I was like that with this podcast in the beginning, for sure. Really obsessing over every tiny thing, which was just making everything take longer and be more difficult. It's like when trying to fall asleep. The harder we try, the more impossible it becomes. And this works in different areas of life too, like with finance. Obsessing over every single penny is probably overkill. It's okay to track it all, but obsessing is different. Just a few simple changes might be the answer. And with health, we don't have to give our all to every workout. In fact, that could be a bad thing. Just doing something good for our bodies is a win. So great one from Derek to think about. Hopefully this story sticks with you like it did for me over the many years of this podcast. But with that, thank you for being here. I really appreciate you coming back to listen every day, because that's the only way that I could keep going. Have a great weekend if you're listening in real time, and I'll see you tomorrow where your optimal life awaits.